Hey there, everybody. This is a test. I'm going to give it a shot, and it could qualify for Manic Monday, or any other day for that matter. As some of you have seen previously on the channel, with History Maker Baseball, I did create a 2002 International League season, at least for the opening day rosters and maybe some of the more significant players that came on later on. And I decided to try that with Action PC Baseball using their player creation. Now, it put me in the year 2016, and somehow I couldn't fix that. So even though on the screen right here it says April 4th, 2016, it's actually April 4th, 2002. We are at Louisville Slugger Field in Louisville, Kentucky. It is the Louisville Bats taking on the Toledo Mud Hens here on opening night in Louisville. Now, this is also a replay of a game that I did play on History Maker Baseball in the last time I did an International League video. And this is a trial run, of course, to see if this will work or not. I don't know. We'll find out. Let's go through the starting lineups very quickly. First for Toledo, Andres Torres leads off in center. Omar Infante is at shortstop. Ryan Jackson's in right field. He'll hit third. Craig Monroe's at DH. He will bat cleanup. Eric Munson's at first base. He will hit fifth. Chad Alexander's in left. He will hit sixth. Craig Wilson's at third. He will hit seventh. Matt Walbeck's the catcher. He will hit eighth, and Oscar Salazar is at second. He will bat ninth. On the mound today for the for the Toledo Mud Hens is lefty Tim Kalita. And I believe when I was playing History Maker, I accidentally miscarded him as a righty, so I've certainly fixed that. But he is a lefty, no doubt about it. Let's look at the defense for the Louisville Bats. Around the outfield, Anthony Sanders is a 7 and a 5 arm. Raul Gonzalez is a 5 and a 5 arm. And Ruben Mateo is a 7 and a 4 arm. In the infield, Brandon Larson's at third. Jason Maxwell's a 6 at short. Chris Sexton's an 8 at second. And Ben Broussard is a 6 at first. Behind the plate, Corky Miller. He is a 6 with a 7 arm. And on the mound is knuckleballer Jared Fernandez. And on the season in 2002, Jared Fernandez was 12 and 5 with a 3.93 ERA. He did collect one save. But, of course, primarily a starting pitcher using that tantalizing knuckleball that they aren't used to seeing in minor leagues. So here we go. Andres Torres, the switch-hitting center fielder for the Mud Hens. He's hitting 266, or he hit 266 in 2002. 4 homers, 42 runs driven in. And now what I need to do is, I've got both teams set up to be human players, so I really want to concentrate on one team. So what I will do is go to the preferences, and we'll change Toledo to a computer-generated thing. So we'll let the Action PC game take care of them, and I'll take care of the Louisville Bats. All right, here we go. First pitch is underway, and we'll see how this experiment works out here on Action PC 2002 International League Style Baseball. Jared Fernandez, a knuckleballer, finishes up his warm-up tosses. Torres steps in, and we're ready to go. And here is the delivery from Jared Fernandez. There's a ground ball hard to Broussard. He fields it, takes it to the bag himself, and Torres is easily retired. Apologize for the picture in Louisville Slugger Field. It kind of cuts off right in here. It kind of cuts off the far right-hand side. But that's just the picture I was able to get. So, not everything's going to be perfect on this, unfortunately. All right, here's Omar Infante, 268 on the season, 4 homers, 51 runs driven in. The delivery from Fernandez, and it's a ground ball up the middle. Oh, stopped by Fernandez. He'll throw to Broussard, and it's easily 2 up and 2 down. Nice play by Fernandez. And that'll bring up the lefty hitting Ryan Jackson, right fielder, hitting 271, 8 homers, and 50 runs driven in. The delivery from Fernandez, it's another ground ball up the middle. This time Sexton ranges behind the bag. Throws to Broussard, and the inning's over. So 1, 2, 3 done for the Mud Hens as Jared Fernandez quickly disposes of the Hens. All right, let's look at the starting lineup for the Louisville Bats. It's Chris Sexton leading off at second base. Jeff Fry is your DH. Raul Gonzalez, who was the player of the year in the International League in 2002. He is batting third and playing center. Anthony Sanders is in left, batting cleanup. Ben Broussard is at first base hitting fifth. Brandon Larson's the third baseman hitting sixth. Ruben Mateo is in right field hitting seventh. Corky Miller, the catcher, batting eighth. And Jason Maxwell, shortstop, batting ninth. And, of course, we are using a DH because in this league, The only time the pitchers hit are when two National League affiliates play each other. It doesn't matter that the National League team is home to the American League affiliate. That does not matter. When there's cross leagues, it defaults to the DH. The only time the pitchers hit is when two National League affiliates play. Let's go to the defensive ratings for the Toledo Mud Hens. Chad Alexander is in left. He's a 6 and a 7 arm. Andres Torres is in center. He's a 6 with a 5 arm. Ryan Jackson's in right, 5 and a 5 arm. Craig Wilson's at third. He will be a 5. Omar Infante's at short. He is a 7. Oscar Salazar is at second base. He's a 7. Eric Munson's at first base. He's a 7. Matt Walbeck's behind the plate. He's a 6 and a 4 arm. And Tim Kalita is a 7. And on the season, Kalita, not very good, 1 and 9 with a 4.93 ERA. So the Louisville Bats looking to get their bats in order here against the Mud Hens lefty. So Chris Sexton steps in. We're ready to go here in the bottom of the first. Kalita delivers. Sexton, a little nubber down the right field side. Munson's going to field it. Kalita gets over to cover. And it's a 3-1 putout as Kalita did his job getting off the mound early. And we're waiting for somebody to get the ball out of the infield for a change. Here's Jeff Fry. And Fry on the season, 297, 1 homer, and 24 runs driven in. Kalita to Fry. And that's going to be a ground ball up the middle for a base hit. So we finally get a base hit. Jeff Fry is aboard. He's a 6 on his running. So let's see. The big boys coming up, Raul Gonzalez, he hit 13 home runs, 69 runs driven in, and hit 333 on the season. So they're going to let Gonzalez swing away. Kalita to Gonzalez. It's a ground ball past Infante. It'll be a base hit. Torres gets to it, fires it back in, but base hit it is, and Fry's going to stop at second. So 2 on, 1 out for the cleanup hitter, Anthony Sanders. 250, 6 homers, and 24 runs driven in. Kalita off to a shaky start. Sanders lines it to Infante, who makes the grab, 2 down. So we hit it hard, but right at Infante. And that brings up Ben Broussard, a lefty. Broussard hitting 273, 11 homers, and 30 runs driven in. Will later go on to be traded to the Indians organization and play for Buffalo in the International League this year. But right now, at the start of the season, he is in Louisville. So Kalita, lefty on lefty to Broussard. 2 down, 2 on. Quick throw to first to try to get Gonzalez napping, but he gets back just in time. Walbeck not afraid to throw it around. So it's a 1 ball, no strike count to Broussard. Delivery again. This time's a can of corn out to center field. Andres Torres. Actually a little bit deeper than what I thought. Torres goes back near the track and makes the catch. And a great play it was by Torres. And that's the end of the inning. So after 1 complete, it is Louisville nothing and Toledo nothing. All right, top of the second, and Craig Monroe, 321, 10 homers, and 49 runs driven in against Fernandez, who threw 14 pitches in the first inning. Pitch to Monroe, and he walks him, a leadoff walk, and those can come back to bite you from time to time. So Monroe is on. He'll be held, of course. And here's Eric Munson, and 262, 24 home runs, 84 runs driven in. Was found out. I thought at first he was related to Thurman Munson, but that was, I guess, prematurely thought about because there is no relation there. So Fernandez, from the stretch this time, is going to face Munson, infield double play depth. Here's the delivery on the knuckleball. And there goes Monroe, the throw from Corky Miller, and he got him. So Miller, with the cannon over there, took that knuckleball, took a long time for that knuckleball to get there, but Monroe, not a good jump, and Miller threw him out. So Corky Miller got his man, and those bases are clear now for 1 out, and it's a 1 strike count on Eric Munson. So Fernandez to Munson. Struck him out, so Munson is out of there. That'll bring up Chad Alexander, 275, 7 home runs, and 34 runs driven in. 2 outs, bases clear. Alexander launches one to deep left field, took a would-be knuckler from Fernandez and deposited it over the 320 sign in left. And the Mud Hens are on the board 1-0. Boy, that got out of here in a hurry. A rocket shot from Alexander, and that's a 334-foot home run. The first run of the season here in the International League, and it's Craig Wilson, third baseman, hitting 263, 2 homers and 46 runs driven in. Fernandez has to shake off that launching shot there and see if he can recover and get back to business. Here's the pitch. Wilson a little grounder to first. Fernandez going to first to cover. Broussard fields it, flips to Fernandez, and the inning is over. So The spring training pitchers fielding drills coming in handy as both pitchers knew to get over to cover first right away and make that play. So Toledo gets a run on that home run by Alexander, and at the end of 1.5, it's Toledo 1, Louisville nothing. Kalita, 15 pitches in the first inning, going to be facing Brandon Larson. Larson, a beast for the bats, 340 on the average, 25 home runs, 69 runs driven in. Kalita sets and fires. Larson back up the bump. Salazar is going to get behind the bag, make the play, throw to Munson, and Larson is out of there. So good range by Salazar to keep that from being a base hit. Here's Ruben Mateo. Mateo, 301, 9 homers, and 23 runs driven in. Mateo, a shot up the middle. Salazar can't get to it this time. It's going to be, are they going to call it an error? The official score has given him an error, so Salazar, E4, puts Mateo on for Corky Miller. So Corky Miller's going to see what he can do against Kalita. Miller with the base hit to right field. Mateo may be looking to go to third, and he does on that ball to right field. So runners are on the corners. One away, and the number 9 hitter, Jason Maxwell, the batter. But he's not a bad number 9 hitter. 301 with the 2 homers and 31 runs driven in. So not your typical number 9 guy. So let's see what Kalita can do with Maxwell. Maxwell, base hit to left field. We got a tie game. Just like that, Mateo scores, and Miller will go third. How about that? Corky Miller takes third, so they're playing corner baseball here, first and third. And we are tied at 1. 4 hits already for the bats against Kalita, so Kalita may have a short outing. Here's Chris Sexton, and Sexton stepping to the plate, back to the top of the order. See what he can do here. Runners on the corners, 1 out. Maxwell's not going to go anywhere. Kalita delivers. Sexton, base hit up the middle. There you go. Another base hit. Corky Miller will score. And runners are at first and second for Louisville. They take a 2-1 lead. And here's Jeff Fry. DH. Fry, another base hit to left field. Alexander comes up firing to keep Maxwell at third base. So the bases are loaded now for Player of the Year, Raul Gonzalez and Kalita. Boy, I'll tell you what, the Toledo manager may be looking to make a move here early. We'll wait and see. Here's Raul Gonzalez. Walked him. He walked in a run. So how about that? It's 3-1 Louisville. Bullpen has to be going for the Mud Hens at this point. They're down 3-1. Here's Anthony Sanders. Pitch to Sanders. That's a fly to left field. Alexander's there. Will Sexton tag and score? Yes, he will. It's a sacrifice fly. Nice piece of hitting there by Sanders, and it's now 4-1 in favor of the Bats. Here's Ben Broussard. Broussard, a little grounder to short. Infante will go to first for Munson. And Broussard beat it out. He maybe should have gone to second, but he decided to go to first, and decision did not pay off. Now the bases are loaded again for Brandon Larson. And more trouble for Kalita. Larson, fly to left. Alexander looks to be under it. And the Bats are going to leave them loaded. But they do score 4 here in the second after 2 complete. It's 4-1 Bats. And now Jared Fernandez given a nice cushion to work with. You're facing Matt Wallback, the number 8 hitter. 213 on the season, 1 homer and 6 runs driven in. And a leadoff walk. Not what you want to do when your team scores 4 runs for you. Start walking guys. Now he's got to face Oscar Salazar. Limited duty, only 19 at bats, 316 with no homers and 1 run driven in. Fernandez delivers, and it's a base hit. Base hit, and that'll put runners at first and second. With nobody out, and we're back to the top of the order for Torres. Fernandez, a little number foul, and Torres will try again. Delivery, and it's a ground ball to Broussard. He will go to the bag himself for the shore out. And both runners move up, but they do get the shore out, and when you're up 4-1, that's what you want. You want that shore out. So here's Infante, 1 out, runners at second, third, infield's playing back. They want the out. Here's Fernandez to Infante. Infante grounds it to Larson. And Infante is out of there, but it will be an RBI ground out as Wallback scores to cut the lead to 4-2. Salazar will stop at second. He thought about going to third, but changed his mind. And now here's Ryan Jackson. A lot of offense here early. Jackson, ground ball up the middle. Sexton fields it, throws, and Broussard makes the scoop, and that's the end of the inning. So saved a run there. It could have been another base hit. As it was, Toledo gets 1 run. and cuts the lead to 4-2 as we go to the bottom of the third. It'll be Ruben Mateo, and you wonder how long Toledo can go. I mean, he's got to rebound and not have another inning like he had last inning. It's pitched to Mateo. Mateo flies to right. Jackson is there, one away. So it's a good start for Toledo. Here's Corky Miller. And that's a walk. So Toledo, the base on balls to Miller, brings up Jason Maxwell. Maxwell, ground ball, could be 2. Infante, no, they're going to go to first instead. Kind of strange decision there, and everybody's safe. How about that? Not sure why he didn't step on second, but only Infante knows that. Maybe he didn't feel like he had time. I don't know, but you would have thought they would have gone for the force play. But as it is, 2 are on with 1 out for Chris Sexton. Sexton, a base hit to right field. Miller, slow runner, will have to hold. Bases are loaded. And you got to wonder about Toledo. He's given up 4 runs and 9 hits and 2 1/3. So I may have to make the executive decision here and pull Toledo, which is what I'm going to do, because I think it's time for him to get pulled. So we'll go to the bullpen for Toledo, and they go to a right-hander, and the right-hander is going to be Chris Keller. So Chris Keller is coming on to pitch. On the season, Keller was 2-0 with a 2.08 ERA. So he's in a big spot, bases loaded. 1 out for the right-hander, Jeff Fry, the DH, righty on righty. And he walks him. He forces in a run, and that's going to make the score 5-2. So Keller is not helping things out at all. Here's Raul Gonzalez. Gonzalez liner to Wilson, who snags it for out number 2. So even that one was hit hard, but Wilson's in the right spot. And there's 2 outs. Bases still loaded for Anthony Sanders. Keller delivers, and he struck him out. So all in all, not a bad job by Keller. Allowed the 1 inherited runner, but that was it. After 3 completed, it's Louisville 5 and Toledo 2. So now let's go back to making Toledo the computer manager. All right, here we go. Fernandez. Start of inning number 4 to Craig Monroe. And it's a ground ball to Maxwell, who throws over to Broussard, 1 away. That'll bring up Munson. And he struck him out with a knuckleball. Tantalized him with that one. Here's Chad Alexander. He homered back in the second in his first at bat. This time it's up the middle. Sexton, again, good range over there, and throws to Broussard to end the inning. So 3 up, 3 down, and now we go to the bottom of the 4th. Keller's still in there. Threw 13 pitches his first inning, or his last inning. Here's Broussard. And there's a leadoff walk. Could be more trouble. Don't want to have leadoff walks. Here's Brandon Larson. Struck him out. So 1 away, and that brings up Ruben Mateo, right fielder. Mateo, a can of corn out to Torres. He'll make the play easily. 2 down. Broussard retreats to first. So 2 down, runner at first for Corky Miller, who's had a great day. 1 for 1, and he threw a base runner out. Miller, this one pops it straight up the chute, actually goes out to third, and Wilson will make the play. And Keller does a great job in relief. So we go to the 5th, it's still 5-2. And Jared Fernandez, 62 pitches, so he's still in good shape. Here's Craig Wilson. Struck him out, so that Fernandez has that knuckleball going for him today. Here's Matt Walback. Ground ball to Larson. He'll make the play over to Broussard, and it's 2 down. 2 up, 2 down, so Fernandez getting a little bit of a roll here. Here's Oscar Salazar. 2 outs, base is empty, but that changes that. Salazar with the base hit. 2 out single brings up Andres Torres. Torres, another base hit. So all this 2 out action going on, and now runners are at the corners with 2 outs for the dangerous Omar Infante. So Fernandez will have to buckle down a little bit with his knuckler. Miller out to talk to him, figure out what to do here. He's going to call for the knuckler. If he did, he got hit, and it's a base hit. Runners, Infante going for the extra base, and he makes it. Puts it in left center for a double. Cuts the lead to 5-3. The tying runs are now on base. And the dangerous Ryan Jackson, 271, 8 homers, and 50 RBI. And he plunked him. It couldn't have hurt. The knuckleball couldn't have been going very fast, but now he's in trouble. Craig Monroe, bases loaded for Fernandez. Let's see if he's got anything left to get out of this. Monroe lines it to Larson, but it's caught to end the inning. So Fernandez got by really well that time, only allowing the 1 run. It could have been a lot worse. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's 5-3 bats. And here's Jason Maxwell to lead things off against Keller. Struck him out. Boy, Keller's coming in fist and fury here. Starting his 3rd inning of work in relief. Here's Sexton. Actually, I guess it'll be 2 1/3. I'm not sure what his total is right now. Ground ball to Infante, throws to first, and that's 2 away. Now he's pitched 2 1/3. So he's looking to go at least 2 2/3, which would be great savior on the bullpen. Here's Jeff Fry. Fry, ground ball to Infante, another chance. Throws to Munson, innings over. So pitching kind of stabilizing a little bit here. Now we've got Fernandez with that fatigue warning. Says he looks okay, but that can be a little tricky sometimes. They'll let him go a couple of batters, see how he does. Here's Munson. And he walks him. That's not good. And Chad Alexander is the guy who took him deep last time, so got to be careful here. Alexander, ground ball to Fernandez. His only play is to first, so he will get the out. Munson will go to second. That brings up Craig Wilson. I'd like to get 6 innings out of Fernandez if possible. Here's Wilson. Wilson, a base hit to right field. Munson will stop at 3rd. And now he's at 97 pitches, so he could be looking to get out of here. Let's check the mound trip here and see what his team says. It may be tiring, so we're going to go to the bullpen. Now, the batter coming up is switch hitter Wallback, followed by right-hander Salazar. So I guess they'll go to a right-hander. They're going to go to Scott McRae. So Scott McRae is on. And McRae on the season, 4-2, 3.34 ERA with 2 saves. So he's got his work cut out for him. 1 out, runners at the corners, trying to protect a 5-3 lead. Here's Wallback. Wallback ground ball to Maxwell, could be 2. Flips to Sexton for 1. Over to Broussard. Wallback he beat it out. How about that? Good hustle by Wallback, and that will score a run. Cuts the lead to 5-4. So here's Salazar. Salazar, it says dead ball, so that's a balk. So they're going to call a balk on McRae. So not sure why he would have balked there. Wallback was a no threat to run. But here's Salazar with Wallback in scoring position. And there's a ground ball to Sexton. Great play by Sexton. Throws to Broussard. And the inning's over. But now, Keller's going to stay in there incredibly. I kind of question this move, but apparently he must not be tired. Here is Gonzalez. Ground ball to Munson. He'll take it to the bag himself, and you can't argue the results from Keller. He's been a fine reliever for the Mud Hens, really stabilized things. Here's Anthony Sanders. There's a shot, and Sanders puts it over the right center field bleachers for a solid opposite field home run, and that may be all for Keller. We'll wait and see. Yes, it is. Tim Atkins, the lefty's coming on for the Mud Hens. It is now 6-4. Maybe they went 1 batter too many for Keller. But still, great work out of the bullpen. All right, now lefty on lefty. Atkins against Broussard. Struck him out. So 2 down for Brandon Larson. Struck it. Boy, Atkins coming here meaning business there. 2 strikeouts in a row. 6-4. We go to the 7th. And it'll be Andres Torres, the batter. Against McRae, still in there. Maxwell makes the play, 1 away. That brings up Infante. And there's a walk, and now with the left-hander Jackson coming up, the bats will go to a lefty of their own in the bullpen, and it will be Trevor Miller. So Trevor Miller, a part-time starter, part-time reliever, will be in to face Ryan Jackson. Lefty on lefty. Miller on the season, 9-5, 3.18 ERA with 1 save. There goes the runner. Miller throws down, and he gets Infante. So Miller's 2 for 2 on throwing runners out, trying to steal second. Don't run on Corky. He uncorked a laser beam down to second base, and there's quickly 2 away. Here's Ryan Jackson. Toledo running themselves out of an inning here. Ground ball to 3rd. Larson got to hurry. Jackson hustling down the line, but he just got him, and the inning is over. So 7th inning stretch time, it's 6-4 Louisville, and Ruben Mateo facing Tim Atkins. Atkins struck out the first 2 batters he faced last inning. This inning, it's a fly to right to Jackson, one away, so Atkins definitely stabilizing the bullpen. Here's Miller. A little can of corn to Alexander. Quickly 2 outs, and here's Jason Maxwell. Maxwell, a 2-out single. Actually, it might be a double as Torres kind of muffled it there. It's a poor play, and it's going to be ruled a double. No error, just a solid double for Maxwell. 2-out double, 11th hit by the Bats, as opposed to 6 for Toledo. So here's Sexton, 2 outs, bases with the runner at second. And they're going to put him on intentionally and pitch to Jeff Fry. Kind of an interesting move there. Let's see if Fry can make him pay. He does not. Atkins struck him out, and that's going to end the inning. All right, so we go to the 8th. It's 6-4. Here's Craig Monroe against Miller. Oh, and he got plunked against the second Toledo mud hen that has been plunked. And that brings up Munson, lefty on lefty, tying run at the plate. Gets away from Miller, and Monroe will go to second. That takes the double play out of the equation on that wild pitch. Bullpen activity for the Bats. Another right-hander is loosening. Carlos Almanzar, their closer. Could be looking at a 2-inning save, possibly. Here's Miller to Munson. Struck him out. So, not so fast, my friends, as Lee Corso would say. So, Munson strikes out for the 3rd time. And now Miller facing Alexander. Alexander, fly to center. Gonzalez, easy play. 2 down. So now it's up to Craig Wilson, third baseman. 1 for 3 on the day. Miller delivers. And it's a foul ball, so we'll get another chance. Base hit to left field. Monroe, rounding third, he will score, and that's going to do it for Trevor Miller. He's going to be leaving, and they're going to go to their closer, Almanzar. So Almanzar is going to come on. Carlos Almanzar, 1-0, 2.74 ERA, and 11 saves in just 23 innings. So he had limited duty, but he was their closer in the beginning of the season. So let's see what he can do here against Walbach. Well, Walbach just greeted him with a base hit. Craig Wilson's going to go to third. Things tighten up here at Louisville Slugger Field. It is 6-5. Runners on the corners, 2 outs, and Oscar Salazar steps to the plate. Almanzar gives up the base hit, and we're tied. So he didn't end up closing anything. That's a base hit, and we're tied. It gets Kalita off the hook and takes the win away from Jared Fernandez. And now they got to worry about things here as Torres comes to the plate. Foul tip. 6-6 here in the top of the 8th. 2 outs. Torres struck him out, and we go to the bottom of the 8th. Eric Eckenstaller, a lefty, is on for the Mud Hens, and he'll be facing heart of the order, Gonzalez, Sanders, and Broussard here in the bottom of the 8th. Gonzalez. Raul Gonzalez, fly to left. Alexander with room makes the catch. 1 away. Brings up Anthony Sanders. He homered his last time up. Opposite field job. This time, though, a can of corn to left. Alexander has it. 2 down for Ben Broussard. Broussard, a fly to right. That's going to end the inning. Easy inning for Eckenstaller. We go to the 9th. We are tied at 6. And you got to wonder about Almanzar. They're going to let him pitch to Infante, see what happens. Infante grounds to Larson, and that's 1 away. I'll bring up Ryan Jackson. Ground ball. Sexton again on the Johnny on the spot right there with that great range of his. 2 down for Craig Monroe. Monroe sneaks that one through for a 2-out single. Now it's Munson. So we got a lefty on lefty matchup if we bring in a lefty out of the bullpen, which is what they're going to do. Bats going to the bullpen, going to bring in Justin Atchley, the left-hander. So Justin Atchley, 1-0, but an ERA of 7. So this could be a little perplexing. Let's see what happens. Pitch to Munson, lefty on lefty. Munson delivers a base hit. So that's going to put runners at the corners, and Atchley will now be a one-pitch batter, and one-pitch pitcher. He's coming out of there. They're going to Brandon Kolb. So Brandon Kolb is on. See what he can do here against Alexander. See if he can keep the score tied to 6. Give his team a chance to win in the 9th. Kolb to Alexander, and that is a base hit. So the Bats bullpen, it's actually going to be a double as Alexander hustles in. So the Bats bullpen is giving it up here in the 8th and 9th. Toledo has come all the way back, take a 7-6 lead. And here's Craig Wilson. Wilson looking for insurance, and he gets it. A base hit. Munson scores. Alexander coming to the plate. He will score. Toledo, 3 runs here in the 9th. They lead it 9-6. And the fans here at Louisville Slugger Field may be heading for an early exit as there's another base hit. The bullpen for the Bats just imploding big time. Here's Salazar. Walks him, and the bases are now loaded for Torres. And now we're going to visit the bullpen and make sure he's not tired. Now he stays strong, so we'll see. Here's Torres. Torres, another base hit. This is getting out of hand here with this bullpen. That's going to be all for Kolb. He couldn't get the job done, so he's going to have to come out. And they'll go to Paul Darnell. Paul Darnell, a lefty. 0-3 with a 3.67 ERA. Going to be facing Infante. Try to get out of this. And there's another base hit. So Toledo, the Mud Hens are just raking here in the 9th. And they have now put up 6 runs here in the 9th. It's 12-6. Here's Ryan Jackson. We're not going to allow Brandon Inge to hit. We're going to have Ryan Jackson. And that's going to end the inning. All right, so Eckenstaller is going to stay in there to face Larson. Mateo. And he's going to be qualified for the win. There is going to be no save unless Louisville has a tremendous rally here in the 9th. Here's Larson. Struck him out. So it looked like a Louisville blowout turns the other way around thanks to the bullpen there with all those runs given up. 8 runs in 2 innings. 6 in the 9th particularly. Here's Mateo. A little number down third is foul. So I was hoping to get a close game for you. And I got you 8 innings of a close game, but the 9th inning they didn't cooperate. Mateo does get a base hit, keep things going. Here's Corky Miller. Struck him out, and it's up to Jason Maxwell to keep it going. Ball back out to talk to Eckenstaller. Maxwell draws the base on balls, keeps things going, and here is Chris Sexton. I wonder if Eckenstaller is tiring. That Sexton just blasted one to the gap in right center. That's going to be extra bases. And now Jamie Walker, a lefty, is scheduled to come in for the Mud Hens. He's 0-1, 1.98 ERA and a save. Still not a save situation. Facing Jeff Fry. Fry, fly ball to right. This should do it. Jackson is there. And that's the ball game. The Toledo Mud Hens defeat the Louisville Bats by the score of 12-7. As it's 12 runs, 16 hits, and 1 error for Toledo. 7 runs, 13 hits, and no errors for the Bats. Eric Eckenstaller, the winner, 1-0 with 1 2/3 innings pitched, 2 hits and 1 run, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Loser was Almanzar, who really had a rough outing, to say the least. Almanzar, 1 inning, 3 hits and a run. Couldn't get anybody out, but Kolb was the guy who really had the rough outing. That turned into a blowout. But it took the win away from Fernandez, and it took Toledo off the hook. But the big star was Chris Keller. 3 innings, only giving up the 1 run, and really stabilized things for the Mud Hens. So there you go. It says 2016, but it's really 2002 in our world. And it is August 17th when I'm playing this at 10:24 a.m. But 12-7, there's your final. Louisville drops to 0-1. Toledo to 1-0. Jay Alexander, 2 for 5 with a home run and 2 ribbies. Player of the game for Toledo. Jason Maxwell went 3 for 4 for the Bats. So that's going to do it. Hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully this comes across okay. We'll see if it does or not. If it doesn't, of course, you won't see it. If it does, then you probably will see it. But that's just something to be different, to kind of mix things up a little bit. I haven't done one of these on Manic Monday yet, so thought I'd throw that in there. Just to keep it going one more week, perhaps. So until next time, enjoy and play whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.